We have 30 seconds till the start of the 11th round of the blitz tournament.
Yeah, very interesting how will Hikaru approach this game, because yesterday's last round was somewhat disappointing for the fans, I think, as Hikaru didn't really take any risk. Also understandable, Magnus was so superior to the field, and why would he risk that much against Magnus?
Also, Hikaru secured his medal. He won a bronze medal yesterday. It is a very important result.
Exactly. I mean, it's... So we see e4, e5. No more e4, c5 from Magnus now.
Bishop c5. Have you seen this from Magnus?
Yeah, he plays it a lot. He plays it a lot. He plays it a lot.
Because I've seen so many Sicilians lately that I completely forgot what was his repertoire before.
No, I mean, okay, this is like his surprise weapon. He has played it, I think, against Maxim also, and he has played it against Paco Vallejo in Grenke Classic when he wanted to surprise Paco. So he is quite an expert in this line. And most probably he anticipates that this surprises Hikaru. After all, Hikaru is not known to be such an expert in all these Spanish sidelines.
d6, and we need a closer look at the board for the moment, just to be able to see the position closer.
Yeah, the question in this line, white is facing, should I go bishop g5 or not? Because basically black allows this pin, which is a very unpleasant pin unless you know how to handle it.
For the moment we cannot get the board, and
yeah, h3, but it allows black to play h6. Exactly, that's the point. White stopped bishop g4, but now also bishop g5 is stopped. So Hikaru goes for a typical setup, which is typical for this bishop c5 Möller kind of variation. If you are able to play h3, bishop e3, knight bd2, then you are ready for a long game. Bishop b7, putting pressure on the e4 pawn. Black has all kinds of ed, cd, knight b4 ideas, hitting the bishop on c2 and the pawn on e4. So white should do something about this. Usually a3 is played against this idea, but Hikaru takes d5, so he wants clarity. He wants clarity with d5, but usually this d5, okay, this is a concrete idea, because if d5, usually black plays with knight takes e5, and they go for this. Really, but why is Hikaru doing this? I mean, what are his chances of being better here? I don't think that he has any reasonable chances to be better. Knight e5, very safe position. It seems to me like Hikaru has too much respect for Magnus. I mean, he didn't want to challenge him. He didn't really want to challenge him. Or maybe he was simply not feeling familiar with this position. I mean, in Blitz, if you have to start thinking about how to pose problems, and he went for this setup, and he goes f4, showing ambitions. So in fact, he wants to make it relatively simple, but at the same time keep the game going. And this I like. Okay, e5 is played, but where does e5 lead? Is it for simplification, or is it for something real?
We're still not getting, yes, the pigeon. Okay, I have to find a way to solve this problem. Yes, finally we have the board. It's waiting for us to get the files, but now it's much better.
Yeah, now everything is working.
It is a much better view for us to be able to analyze the game. And yeah,
d takes e5, rook takes e5. I mean, I've been saying that, yeah, Hikaru is maybe playing it safe, but at the same time, it also makes sense what he's doing. I mean, in a blitz game, important that you have a position where you know what you are doing. Magnus goes queen f6, and the next few moves will
And
be
if I
very
take on
important.
b5, can I take this pawn?
Yeah, a b5 is taken. In this case, Magnus takes on e8. There is a back rank problem, however. Queen b6 check. That's a classy move, but does it mean that Magnus wants to take back with the queen on b5? Because a, b, rook a8, bishop 8, queen d8 check is a checkmate.
Yes. Yes, but king h2, queen b5, and
Yeah, it's somewhat strange,
Seems
but,
fine, yes.
but it hits the e5 pawn, exactly.
yes. Yeah, queen d4.
Queen d4 played. Interesting. Now there are all kinds of possible transformations in endgame with a b5, with queen d4, a b5, or queen takes b5. All moves seem possible, but all moves have something why you don't really want to choose them.
Some drawbacks.
Exactly.
What about queen b5 here?
Yeah, it's possible, but then at least the queen on d4 is doing a perfect job. Finally, Magnus goes for queen d4. Hikaru was somewhat surprised by this, and let's not forget, Magnus is 30 seconds. Magnus has 30 seconds. Hikaru has a little bit more than 1 minute. b4 he fixes, but now bishop d5. Now bishop d5. So
And draw agreed.
agreed, yeah. So finally, it was a relatively solid game.